Made it to another day. You know they playing with the weather, y'all. People be saying don't give them a lot of credit, and I be feeling people not to give them a lot of credit, but as cold as it is right now and shit, like this chilly shit, I don't do it. I don't do it at all. You know what they be doing with this chilly shit. It's not natural weather at all. Nah, I'm good. That's why I be keeping my hoodie with me. And staying prepared, because I know how they like to play with the weather because of the radiation and what's happening. They be wanting to make it cold and shit. Cold's not even natural weather, y'all. So see how I'm prepared right now? It don't even matter. Got my little thermal on and I got my hoodie on. That's how you gotta be prepared when you're homeless and shit. So they be trying to play with the fucking weather and shit. Make it randomly rainy and all of that shit. Alright, y'all, what it did. Some motherfucking rear points of RoBs Inferno while the burn slow. Shout out to all my guys and goddesses know how vibrational human beings. You know what the fuck it is. Tap in. You heard me? So, I made it here another day. How I look at it, I already made it here another week because time isn't real. The Mondays, Tuesdays, all of that. That's why you see it seems like time is speeding up, because you're fading out of the reality of holding on to that shit. That's really what's happening. You feel me? So that's why it feels like that. You feel me? Where it's like, damn, it was just Friday. It seems like the weeks are just going by faster, because you're fading out of that thought process. That energy, those lies isn't even what's on the planet or coming to your planet. You feel me? So that's why that feels like that. You know, yeah, right now it's a lot of, how can I say it? It's a lot of distractions, right? First and foremost, it's a lot of distractions. And everyone, you're hearing everyone talking about matching the energy of the planet, like as far as, you feel me, you know, I'm speaking in simple terms right now. So matching the energy of like deleting old habits, stuff that's not good for you and stuff going forward. Like it's almost like you're being forced to pay attention to those things and be about those things. Like you can't like ignore it. It's getting harder to ignore and stuff like that. Everyone is kind of somewhat talking about this. This is true. You feel me? This is definitely true. You know, the energy definitely is forcing that stuff away. If it's negative, it's not for you, you know. But a lot of people are talking about that. And then a lot of people aren't talking about that within this system. And then even if people are talking about that within this system, they're not making a connection of how both those things are connected. So not saying you can't just have bad habits your own, but a lot of bad habits that people have are connected to this system. You hear what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that have like bad habits, but those habits are off the fact that like they're being forced to live this way, this ideology, these infringed ways. You feel me? So what I'm trying to tell y'all is don't get too wrapped up in putting only but so much pressure on yourself if you're one of those people. You know what I mean? Because eventually this system is going to crash also, right? Because the ionized particles, the frequency hitting the planet, everything how we're living every day is a low frequency. All that stuff is low vibration. It's not for you. You don't need it. You feel me? So and I'm saying this, I'm one of those people, right? I know one of my bad habits I got to do is break these blocking miles, or even just smoking in general. And I'd be stronger at times, but you know what I mean? I'm in the worst case of a situation that's put me in fight, flight, or freeze. in this situation of facing homelessness. So that makes me, spiral out. Hey, look at the Lord Deer skis, y'all. The Lord Deer skis. What up, homies? It's the Lord Deer skis. What it is, y'all. What it is, y'all. They chilling and shit. I'm gonna let them be. But you feel me? This is what this is about. Like I know I have like a lot of stalkers and stuff like that, and it's such a weird feeling, because I know a lot of these people that stalk me, they wouldn't give me respect up front, but just watch my videos and not say anything to me in person, and just gather up what they can from me. And that's kind of like a weird energy, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But I can't change people, and I'm for the collective at the end of the day. Like, I'm on a mission regardless. So really understand all this stuff that I'm saying. It's real. Hold up real quick. Another thing I want to put y'all on is how they have people to just watch people to try to create stuff that they can. A lot of times they do that. They have people like that damn near will subscribe to your life type shit. You know what I mean? Just for one reason, is to try to hold you back. And it's a lot of that. But yeah, y'all. I know a lot of my bad choices definitely is even my energy. Kind of nervous, kind of nerve-wracking, kind of like it's because of this situation. And it's not even and bring it a step further, y'all. It's not even just because of this situation. It's because of the detriment of it. So what I mean is, being homeless doesn't bother you really, besides the weather and really that. But it's the infringement of the continuation of the false lies around you. It almost feels like people around you are showing how much in tune they are of the Matrix, just to go along with it, to piss you off. Like, it seems like that's happening, and you're just feeling like that because more you're breaking free from these outdated ways of thinking. It's like both of them things together, like, aligning, and it's causing like mental conflict. So that's why it's like I gotta isolate myself so much. I'm not saying I'm happy when I hear other people saying that they can't function no more, but it's just a confirmation of what I already know about what people are trying to ignore, about what we're actually living in. And that's what makes me feel like it's like just demons all around me, because there's more people around me in public and that I come across. Like, when I go in the store right now, majority of the people that are in that store are going to be just straight sleep, and even if they're not sleep, what I mean is, like, they're not combating this system at all. They're just going along and having passive aggressive behavior, but they're not doing nothing to combat the system, even if it's just like speaking about the issues. Even just something as simple as that every day, speaking about the issues consistently. You go on social media every day. How come you can't go on social media and speak about the issues every day? You feel me? Like, there's no excuse for it. But, to just settle and comply and don't combat in no shape, way, or form, like, that's unacceptable. And I don't give a fuck regardless, because Mother Nature is taking over. Besides me talking about it, to not crash out in it, you know what I mean? That's it. That's pretty much the only reason why I get on here, is to reach y'all as much as I can. I don't know where y'all gonna take any information farther than me or whatever, but it's also so I don't crash out in this shit. But I have many ways, and it changes, because I know the forces that's on this planet that try to go and get in between that and just my peace, Just because I have it worse than like damn near everybody out here. Most of the people I'm seeing out here, they're not in my situation, Or if they're in my situation, they're not moving how I'm moving in my situation at all, you know? So it's like, nah, like this shit is crazy as shit, but this shit's almost over though. You know? Like right now, the pressure I feel right now, it's not a bad feeling, but the intensity I feel, of course, is the radiation on the planet, but it's also of, you know, I gotta face another day without my child because the system is protecting the toxicity of this woman and any other woman during that type of stuff. Then I gotta face all of these people that's just gonna just be good slaves, happy around me, as if like everything is good and dandy, and that's the tribulation. So even when I go in this store, I'm damn near gonna ignore everybody, just make my shit fast and just get the fuck out of there, you know? Because at this moment, most people around me, you know, they can say it's mental health. I don't give a fuck what the fuck they say, for real, at this point, anybody. But I'm making sure that I'm not around people too much with how much they want to be a slave, you know? And then how much I'm not with that shit. Like, even as the shit is crashing, like, I'm not with that shit at all, y'all. You know, I'm not with that shit at all. And like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, as soon as like I get on a certain level, or I get out this situation, or just get a car, I'm not gonna be getting on here on live, because I know I have stalkers, and I don't really care about those stalkers knowing about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, see how it'd be like a certain amount. I have more people of all different numbers that come on my lives, but when I first start my lives, or I get on at certain times, it's certain people that be on there that always be on there stalking me and shit, and that shit is just weird, you know? That shit is just weird. I'd rather just keep it music. You know, I spoke about what's been happening on the planet for like over 5 years, you know, or what was to come into place of where we're at right now. I did more than I was supposed to do for a collective, and within those years, I've been out in person too, you know? Like, it's people that talk about stuff on the internet and stuff, but they're not doing both at the same time, you know? Or even in the area that I am, how I am. So it's different for me. So I'm very, very proud of myself. I'm about to make these 9-8 calls just to gather myself. Because at this point, it's just like the more energy comes on a planet, the more uncomfortable I get around Western ideology. Like anything that is like of it, like, and I think of it, it just causes me distress, like mental agony, like, because I just don't want to live this way. And I don't even think it's me doing it. I think it's like my soul. I'm just rebellious as shit, and I just don't care no more, you know? Only thing I care about, for real, is even if I'm not gonna be with Brittany, like, just being with a woman that I feel strong about and just getting the fuck, you know? For real, and starting a family and shit. Like, that's all I care about. All this other shit, you know, people play games, people do dumb shit. They do what they do. I can't be mad at them for that shit. You feel me? But like, at the end of the day, that's what I'm on. You know, so I'm gonna get at y'all. This is a re-report to RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. I'm gonna get at y'all, man.